Hey there everybody, I wanted to take a few minutes to share something that I just learned that I know you guys are going to find valuable. And what I'm talking about is sending fillable forms to your clients using Google Forms. Now think about it. Every little thing that you've ever wanted them to fill out as far as questionnaires or surveys or just different information that you're trying to get from them, now you don't have to go back and forth the old-fashioned way with pen and paper and email it back and forth and all that kind of nonsense. I'm going to show you how to revolutionize the way that you're gathering information from your clients. So let's dig in. First things first, we do need to go to Google Drive, which is drive.google.com. If you do not have any kind of Google credentials, now's the time to get them so you can log in. So now that we're all in, we need to create a new form, and that is done by clicking on this new button here on the left-hand sidebar. Once we click it, we go to More, and we are looking for a Google form. So that's what I will select. Bada bing. Perfect. So let's just start at the top and work through it together. If we start here on form settings, the first thing it's asking is if we want it to require a login for these people to view the form. Let's say no, because it's going to be going to a lot of people outside of our circle. We want to make sure nobody is locked out of it. All right, perfect. So if we scroll down just a little bit to the untitled form section, we got to name it. So let's name it something. Buyer info sheet. That'll do. Okay, so right underneath this is where you just start asking questions. So what you do is you have different question types, and you just ask the question, and then you choose what question type is most appropriate for it. So let's get started. All right, first thing we want to know. Let's say, what is your current address? Good to know where they are now. So let's look. Our question types, multiple choice, definitely not the best option for what we're looking for. Let's see our other options. Text, that's what I'm talking about. Perfect. Text box, they can type in just about anything that they want. That's good, I like that. So if you go down towards the bottom of this little box here, you have your done button. That's going to help you proceed. Now if you feel this is a mandatory question that you want everyone to have to answer, you can select required question. But we're going to leave that unselect for now. Alright, let's continue. As soon as we click done, you'll notice that it's going to show you exactly what it's going to look like on the user's end. So we see the question and we see that text box that we just told it to be able to answer in. Alright, let's proceed. We're going to add some more. So let's go in order of question type so we can see all of them. Next one is paragraph text. Now, I don't need to spend a whole lot of time on that because it's pretty much the exact same as a text box. It just gives you a whole lot more room to type in. So let's skip over that one and go straight to multiple choice. Okay, so let's think of a multiple choice question. How soon are you looking to move? Fair question. Let's scroll down just a little bit and start plugging in our options. 30 days. We can say 1 to 2 months. And then maybe something like 3 to 6 months. I'm sure you see what I'm going for here. All right, let's continue. We're going to hit done. As always, we're going to see how it's going to look on the actual survey or questionnaire. And let's continue out by adding an item. All right, after multiple choice, we have checkboxes. So this is good for any kind of question where there might be multiple answers that are acceptable. Okay, so maybe what areas are you interested in? All right. So let's give them some options. We can say Spring Branch, Heights, Memorial, things of that sort. And that way, on their end, they'll have multiple options that they can select. All right, let's see what else we're working with. Choose from a list. Okay, so a list is just an interactive drop-down menu they select one option from. So we can say, what is your current living status? That's a good way to put it. And in the options in that drop-down menu, we can have rent, own, and other. All right. And that's how it's going to look on their end. So move it along. Scale. Very, very easy to explain. Pretty much on a scale of 1 to whatever. How do you feel about whichever? All right, so let's do it. how likely are you to recommend me to a friend? All right, let's say you're sending this after the whole deal is done and you're just trying to get an idea of how happy they are with your service. You can say on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not likely and 10 being very likely. And you'll see how it looks on their end. And then the last one we're going to cover, just because date and time are pretty self-explanatory, is grid. So the grid is going to have multiple rows and columns. So this is what I had in mind. Maybe something like, tell me about your dream home. To where the first row is going to be the number of beds they desire. Second can be number of baths. Third can be garage space that they're looking for. And go nuts, get creative. This is just what I came up with. Now in the columns, that's the numbers that correspond to those criteria. You get where I'm going with this. Okay, so let's hit done and you'll see exactly how it looks. Just like that. So they can select number of beds, baths, garage, that kind of thing to give you an idea of what they're looking for. Okay, so that's all of our options as far as the types of questions that we can ask and put on this form. So let's say we're about to send it off. I'm going to direct your attention to the bottom to that confirmation page part. This first text box gives you the option of putting in a quick message, maybe thanking them for their time and for filling out the survey. And then the other options are if you want to give them a link to submit another response, if you want to show them the form results, or if you want to give them the option of editing responses after submitting. That's all entirely up to you. Let's go ahead and send it off. Okay, so it's as simple as this. You can either embed it into your website, so you can use this as a lead capturing tool or as a way to manage your clients, or you can just send it off through email. So I am going to send it to me. Now there's a cool little checkbox right here that says include form in email, and that means that the entire questionnaire is going to be within their mail server. So they won't even have to leave that one email to answer the questions. I would definitely recommend doing this because if you want them to fill it out, you want to make things as easy as possible for them. So keep an eye out for that. And then let's send it. Adios. Okay, let's check out what that looks like on the person receiving its end. So I'm going to go to my Gmail, and it should be there waiting for me. It sure is. So let's jump right in so you can see how it looks. Perfect. It's exactly the way we set it up on our forms. But the difference here is that they can go in and answer. What's your current address? Main Street. How soon are you looking to move? They tell you what areas they're interested in. They'll say they want 3 baths, or 3 beds, 2 baths, 2-car garage. Now here's the cool part. When they hit submit, all their results are submitted, and it's actually tracked by Google Drive as well. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we're going to navigate back to our Google Drive. Here's the buyer info sheet that we just set up. Now, here's a buyer info sheet that shows the responses. So what it's going to do is track the questions that you ask across the top, and then for every person that responds to this survey, it's going to track the results here in this spreadsheet, so you can track your results and you can see what your people are looking for. So get creative. I'm sure you guys can find good ideas how to use this, whether you embed it into your website, or maybe it's when you're working with a client for the first time and you're trying to uncover expectations and what they're looking for. So if there's anything I can do to help you guys out with this, just holler at me. I'm having a great time with this, and I would love to share all the information that I've gathered with it. So if there's anything I can do for you, just holler. I know y'all aren't shy, so I look forward to hearing from you.